What's going on, guys? This is Seth Forge here, and today I am back with another Carolina Panthers video. And today we got some fun things to talk about. As you guys know, it is 50 days until the NFL draft in April. I think it's April 28th, and that was the last weekend of April. It's crazy to even think about, and yes, it's gonna make me feel disgusted seeing that the Chicago Bears have the Carolina Panthers draft pick, and of course they get the #1 draft pick because the Carolina Panthers, of course, they desperately traded up for Bryce Young, which they should have tanked last year when they were 1-5, or 2 years ago when they were 1-5. But I love Steve Wilks, and he probably should have gotten the job because that team was actually not too bad. It's just Matt Rule was a horrible head coach, and then Steve Wilks from a 1-5 start, one game to win, and they lost, and of course they would have gone to the playoffs, but of course things happen. And then last year, disaster class with hiring Frank Reich when they should have hired maybe Eric Bieniemy or like a younger head coach that could have gotten the job, or Steve Wilks too. But guess what? They traded up for Bryce Young, and of course everybody wanted CJ Stroud. We all thought that Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud. All that saga with that war last year with Bryce Young fans, CJ Stroud fans, Panther fans were not happy. And of course, I wasn't happy either. So it is what it is. We moved on. Dan Morgan, Dave Canales are now the head coach to the GM, and the Brandon Tillis is the vice president of football operations as well. So we have a head coach aligned with a GM, and then the vice president of football operations as well. All three aligned, and possibly we might trade Brian Burns to get another draft pick in the first round, which that would be very nice too, because then we can draft maybe 2 wide receivers, because I don't think the wide receivers like T. Higgins is gone. Michael Pittman will be back signed with the Colts probably, and then who else was it? Oh yeah, Mike Evans was signed a 2-year deal with the Bucks. So the free agency for wide receivers is going thin, and so now we look at the NFL draft. It pains me to see that the Chicago Bears has our draft pick, because we're idiots for desperately trading up for Bryce Young, and that whole saga, like I said earlier, is not good. But so what I'm going to talk about today is the fans are buzzing for wide receivers at the 33rd pick in the first round. A lot of fans agreed that they want Xavier Worthy, or some fans possibly want Xavier Legette. So which Xavier do you want? So if you want Xavier Worthy, comment down below. If you want Xavier Legette, also comment down below as well. So my only issue with Xavier Legette, as you guys can see right here, is that what the heck happened in the first 4 years of his career? Because like literally he was just mediocre in my opinion. And then Spencer Rattler came in the year, I think 2022, did better his senior year, and then his 5th-year senior, he went off. He had 1,255 receiving yards, 71 receptions, 7 touchdowns. I mean, he just went off that season. As you guys can see, averaged about 17.7. And I watched some of his highlights. A lot of the passes were underthrown, but like he's actually built like a DK Metcalf type of player. He's 6'3", 227. And so yeah, he is a beast, like a beast. No, I wouldn't say beast. So he is a stud. He had a great season last year. I don't want to talk down to the player because I don't really know. I didn't really watch a whole lot of his tape or watch a whole lot of his season this year. I think the only game I really watched was the Carolina Tar Heels first game, because I'm a Tar Heel fan, and they pretty much smacked the Gamecocks, and he actually played really well against the Tar Heels defense. So 1 year out of 4 seasons, that's kind of strange compared to Xavier Worthy's that a lot of fans are buzzing about, because this dude literally ran a 4.21 on a 40-yard dash. He's 6'1", 172 pounds. He's a speed receiver. I guess you can say he's like a who is a speedy receiver? Like a Tyreek Hill type of player. In my opinion, he's like a speedster, and so is Tyreek Hill. And of course, Xavier Legette is like a DK Metcalf. Those are like the 2 players that I would probably compare them to if we like to compare players. The only thing that was kind of weird is that, like, as you guys can see right here, his like touchdown rate, his freshman season went off. Well, he had 12 touchdowns, had 981 receiving yards, averaged about 15.8 yards per catch. And then like it kind of dropped off his second year with 9 touchdowns. Still pretty good in my opinion. Still averaged about 12.7 yards per catch, 760 yards of receiving. And then last year was kind of strange. He only had 5 touchdowns, but he still was a big factor for Texas because they got better last year, and so they had more weapons to utilize. He still had 75 receptions, 1,014 yards for last year, and then 5 touchdowns, and his longest was 54. His freshman year was 75. So, in my opinion, based off the stats, if we want to go there, I probably, from all 3 years as a junior, he did 3 years, and then Xavier Legette did it in 1 year. I think that my best bet would go after Xavier Worthy. We definitely need guys that would be a speedster to get open. Jonathan Mingo is still rookie, so he still have time to develop. We didn't really have good receivers last year, and he would definitely help Bryce Young because he's a speedster. Though Xavier Legette, too, would be a nice receiver because he's tall and physical, and he's like a DK Metcalf type of player. So getting him would also be pretty good, too. But I think, in my opinion, I would probably choose Xavier Worthy just because he's like another Tyreek Hill type of player, and he's pretty good. He only did 3 seasons with Texas, and he's pretty nasty as a receiver. And so, I mean, I've watched a few games of him compared to Xavier Legette, and I still feel like Xavier Worthy may be the better option at 33 if he's still available. All right, guys, this is Seth Ward here. If you are a Xavier Worthy fan, please comment down below if you want him as a Carolina Panthers draft pick, or if you want Xavier Legette as a draft pick as well. So this receiver draft class is going to be pretty good. So whoever is at 33rd pick, I think that it's going to be a solid receiver in that draft class. All right, guys, Seth Ward here. Keep pounding. More videos on the way. See y'all next time.